Hello and happy Thursday. Just gonna pull this up and make sure I'm posting in the right group, you know? Oh, good, we're live. All right, sorry I'm jumping on a little late. I lost track of time. This has been one of those weeks. So much going on. I picked up the kids from school, was running around trying to get ready. I was all ready yesterday, actually. I was pretty proud. I was like all ready for this live yesterday and then ended up being late anyway. So I'm so glad you're here. My name is Tracy Allen. I'm one of the admins on the Create and Connect group. If you are with us, make sure you comment and say hello. I'm going to pull this up on my Facebook here, and just so I can see your comments as they're coming in. You want to comment because that gets you entered into the drawing this week, and we always give away some really fun Stampin' Up stuff. So everybody can use a little more Stampin' Up in their life, and so all you have to do is say hi to get yourself entered into the drawing. So hi Linda, I see Stella on. Thank you all. So again, thanks for watching today. I really appreciate all of you. Hopefully everything's going well where you are. If you are in Texas, Louisiana, we're praying for you, hoping those storms really dissipate and don't leave quite as big a mess behind. But just know we're thinking about you. It is Thursday. I think it's the 20-somethingth, 26th. My week has been insane, I'm telling you. So I'm really, really glad you are joining us today. We're going to be making 2 cards today, and we're using, I love this set. So we're using the Nothing's Better Than stamp set to make our cards today. This is in the current catalog, so this is in the June 2021 catalog. So I'm going to show you some really fun cards to make with that one. Like I said before, as you're coming on, if you're just joining us, make sure you say hi, say hello. That gets you entered into our weekly drawing, and we don't want you to miss out on that. If you see anything that you like as we're demonstrating today, make sure you talk to your demonstrator. You can get all of this stuff. It's all available through your demonstrator, and it's all currently available through Stampin' Up. So if you see something you love, make sure you contact your demonstrator to get a hold of that. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to post the pictures of the cards, and then I'll post the supply list after the live as well. So you'll have access to be able to see kind of everything that I used today to create these cards. Alrighty, let me flip the camera real quick. Maybe. There we go, don't mind my mess here. Oops, sorry. Alrighty, so if you're just coming on and joining us, hello and welcome. Nice to see you on a Thursday. We are going to be making some super cute cards today, and then I even have some samples to show you of some other cards that I've made using this particular stamp set. So super excited. Ooh, look at all these pretty ink colors. I love these new mats. These are available on the website as well. These are great because they come with a ruler. I need a ruler. I don't know about you, but I use measurement a lot, and so having a ruler right on my mat is perfect for me. It tends to help me out a lot, keeps me from making as many mistakes. Not that I still don't make a bunch, but at least I've got it there. And I also love this because it's paper, right? So I stamp off a lot, or I might stamp like an image on the edge, and I don't get my desk all messy when I do that. So, all right. So we're going to be making 2 cards today. We're going to start with this super cute card. And it says, today's plan, consume coffee and be awesome. Don't you love that? That should have been the start of my plan today. Today has gotten crazy. I can hear my children in the other room. They are also crazy. Maybe I need to feed them coffee. Maybe that would help their mood. Probably not. It'll help my mood though. All right, hi guys. Make sure when you come on you say hi, say hello, let us know you're watching. That way you can be entered into the drawings. So we definitely want to get you entered into our drawings. All right, so I'm going to get started with our coffee card here. And we're going to start with a, this is our gorgeous grape cardstock. So I picked some bright colors. I think you could do this with a whole variety of colors. I think this would be really pretty in pinks and maybe some more of your oranges or your teals. I just picked 3 that I thought were really pretty and went well together. So starting with those, I'm going to start by cutting my cardstock basically in half. So I'm taking an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and all I'm doing is using my paper trimmer and cutting it right in half, and I'm cutting it down to 8.5 by 5.5. And then I score it down the center and just fold it right in half. So that's going to give you your standard card base. I do like to use a bone folder. That's just helpful for me. It gives me a nice crisp edge. So when I'm doing this, I usually pick up my bone folder and just run it across the edge. And that way it has kind of a nice crisp edge to it when I'm opening it. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Mary Beth. Good to see everybody today. Hopefully you're having a good Thursday. Mine has been pretty good. I got a lot of work done around the house today, which is always good. It really needed it. The pile of laundry in the living room is getting kind of tall, so had to get that done. The next thing I did here was I have my purple card base, and I'm just going to kind of set that aside, and then I'm going to cut some daffodils. So I did pre-cut stuff just because I know me. I get to chatting on here, and then I finish one card and 45 minutes go by. So I'm trying really hard to like pre-cut a few things so I can get through my cards and show you guys these really cute cards. So I'll also put the dimensions for all of the cutting on the website as well, so you can see those. But for this Daffodil Delight, so we cut that down to 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And again, if you want to check that, I've got my little mat here. You can always check that. And that's going to be adhered right to the center front of our card base. So we're going to just put that right onto the purple. I'm going to use our Stampin' seal. I love our Stampin' seal. It has a really good hold to it, and it's really easy to use. I also like to use our multi-purpose glue a lot too. I kind of use those two interchangeably. But for today I just picked this one and it was sitting on my desk, so I'm going to use this. Tape runners are so nice too. It travels well, it's easy. Alright, and I'm just going to do a little bit on there so I've got all the way around the edges. And then I'm going to just put that right in the center of my card base. There we go. And I'm going to set that aside for a minute because we're going to do our stamping now. So the next part of our process is we need a Whisper White piece of cardstock. This is going to be cut to 5 by 3 3/4. So 5 by 3 3/4. And this is what we're going to be stamping on today. So we're going to use our awesome Nothing's Better Than stamp set. I super love this one. There's just so many great sayings on it. So you've got, the images are the cookies. You have a cookie and then kind of the fill for the cookie. You've got your cocktail and you've got your fill for your umbrella and your little lime or your lemon wedge. You've got your coffee and the fill for the coffee, so you can stamp a second color in there. You've also got the fill for the cocktail here too with the ice cubes. Like, how cute is that? And then you've got your chocolates, and you can fill those too. So those are the images that come with it. You got your little coffee up there, a little star. And then the sayings are coffee, cookies, cocktails, and chocolate. And then you have things like today's plan, consume chocolate. That sounds like a good plan. And I'm pretty sure tomorrow will be too, right? So you've got all these super cute little sayings. So we're going to use today's plan, consume coffee, and be awesome. So that'll be on this card. So I'm going to pull these out. we're going to start with our coffee cup. And we're going to take our coffee cup and we're going to actually do it right down the side. And we're going to do 4 little coffee cups. So I'm just using my smaller block here. This is my, looks like my C block. Stampin' Up! Blocks are great. If you don't have a set of these or you've never had a chance to play with them, they are awesome. They have a nice ridge in between, so it's really easy to hold them. When you're stamping, I always feel like I get a really good impression when I'm using them. So these are polymer stamps, and polymer stamps are our clear stamps. You can see mine are well loved. I use this set a lot. It's one of my favorites, so I've been making a ton of cards with it lately. And as you're using it, it may stain, it may pick up a little bit of the color from your ink that you're using, but that's no big deal. It's not going to change the impression, it's not going to hurt your stamp at all. But the nice thing is, because they're clear, you can see through them and you can see exactly where you're stamping them. So I love using our polymer stamps. One of the things about polymer stamps, though, is you do have to have a soft cushion underneath. A lot of times I'll use, let me grab my pad here. So we have these awesome piercing pads that you can use, and you can tell mine is well loved as well. It's got Stampin' ink all over it. But they're great. They're a thick foam, and the nice thing is they're going to give you a really good impression. So if you're stamping on top of that, it's going to give just a little bit of give. My table is a plastic table and tends to have a little bit of give to it anyway, but I know when I'm stamping on my dining room table, there's no give, and so I have to have something underneath it to make sure the impression comes out right. So we'll use this today. And we're just going to ink it up with Memento black ink. So this is just our standard Memento ink pad. It's tuxedo black. I use it a lot because it has a really nice crisp black to it, and it leaves a nice image, a nice impression. So I'm going to start by stamping on the side. I'm actually going to stamp 4 of these little coffee cups right down the left side of our paper. So I'm going to start at the top, and then I'm going to do one at the bottom. And as I'm stamping, I'm actually turning the stamp, so I get kind of a, I want the coffee cups to kind of look like they're tipsy, right? Like they're going different directions on the paper. And I stamped those 2 first because I wanted to get kind of the center. I want to be able to center them well. So hopefully as I'm stamping, I can center them a little well. I'm going to turn this kind of to the left so you can see it's a little skewed from the bottom one. And then I'll do the last one in the center here. Okay, so I've got my 4 little coffee cups on there, just 4. Oh, I don't know where I put my chamois. Here it is. So this is the stamped chamois. This is just, you can order these right from your Demonstrator, right from the website. They're great. You just put a little bit of water in them and you can wipe your ink off on them, and then your stamp is clean and ready to go for the next time. I use that one a lot. Everybody asks me about that when they see it because it's such a nice tool. I'm going to set this black aside because I'll stick my finger in it if I don't. And I'm going to fill in our coffee cups. So we have a stamp that is the exact impression of the inside of the coffee cup. You can see mine got a little stained, but that's okay. And I'm going to take my gorgeous grape. Love this purple color. Hi everyone. I'm so glad to see you. Make sure that you are commenting as you come on. Just say hi. That's going to get you entered into our drawing. So we don't want you to miss out on all the fun Stampin' Up! Prizes you can win. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up with my coffee cup here. And I'm just going to fill the inside. I'm trying really hard not to bump the camera while I do this. There we go. And then I'm going to do the bottom coffee cup in the same color. Perfect. Okay. And I'm just going to wipe that off with my chamois. And I'm going to pull out the, this is Coastal Cabana. This is kind of a teal color. It's super pretty. And you'll notice I'm leaving my inks open because I'm actually going to need them here in just a minute. Get a lot of ink on there. And you don't have to press super hard with our ink pads. Our ink pads are super juicy and are going to give you a lot of color. So I just gently tap on them. The next color I'm using, make sure and wipe off in between. So I got my chamois here, I'm wiping my stamp. Next color is Daffodil Delight. Such a pretty yellow. All right, I'm gonna stamp that on there. Aren't those pretty colors together? I love them. Just the teals and the, can't beat it. All right, I'm gonna just set that cup aside and I'm gonna grab the little tiny star. There's a teeny tiny little star stamp. It's really hard to see. Don't lose it. I feel like these are those stamps that if you're not careful, you'll put it somewhere and it'll be gone. So try not to lose it. I'm just gonna put it on the edge of my block so it's a little easier to use. And I'm gonna actually stamp the little stars above my coffee cups here. So, just gonna do them all in different places. There we go. And then I want to stamp one of each color above every coffee cup. And clean that off in between. Don't forget that. And I'm just stamping the little stars. They're so cute. It just gives it that thing that it needs, right? It's that little extra that I find always makes such beautiful cards. So we're gonna set our inks aside now. So pick those up and put them away so you don't accidentally put your hand in them. That's what I would do. So gotta set those aside. All right, and then we've got our base here. Now we're gonna add our saying. So we're gonna say today's plan, consume coffee. That is today's plan. I have a few friends this card would be great for. You know who you are. Anybody else need a coffee card? I feel like that's a daily occurrence for me. I'm going to grab the stamps and I'm actually going to try and stamp them all together. So I'm going to line them up the way I want them on my card. This is kind of a trick you can use with your, especially with your polymer, because they're so easy to see right where you want everything. And I'll actually put it a little further, but I kind of want the spacing to be just like that. Then I'm going to set my block on top and pick them both up. So it's perfect. I've got it spaced exactly where I want them to be. And so when I go to stamp it, I know it's going to be right where I want it on my card base here. So again, I'm going to pick up that Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Hi Barbara, good to see you. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Linda, I love this set. This, the more I use it and play with it, I just think it's whimsical and fun. And sometimes, I mean, I super love all my traditional stuff. I make a lot of thank yous, a lot of birthday cards. Those are kind of my thing, but I love to have like a really whimsical card that I can send to somebody. And this stamp set is perfect for that. All right, so today's plan, consume coffee. And I'm going to go ahead and leave out the black because we're going to need that for the next part here. We're going to pick up the and be awesome. All right, just going to get the and be awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and cut another piece of that daffodil. So we have daffodil as our base, and we're going to need a little piece of daffodil. So not much. I pulled this out of my scrap pile. Does everyone have a scrap pile? I have a big scrap pile. So I just found a little piece of Daffodil Delight that I hadn't, that was kind of a little scrap. And I'm going to cut it to 1/2 inch by 2 inches. So it's just a tiny little piece. And that's perfect because it's going to fit our saying right in the middle there, just perfect. So, and be awesome. So I'm going to ink that up with that Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And this is again where it's great that they're polymer, because I can see right through it and I know exactly how to get it in the middle. Well, close. If it's not perfect, that's okay. Awesome. Looks good. Wipe that off. All right. Put the ink away. And now I'm going to put my card together. Isn't that cute? I just love it. Super fun card idea. I'm pretty sure I totally stole it off Pinterest, so I didn't create this one on my own. Sometimes Pinterest just gives us such great ideas. Don't be afraid to use Pinterest. It's great to use it. You get a stamp set you love, and you kind of look it up on there and you can find some really great ideas. And usually what I do is take the ideas I see on Pinterest and then just make them my own. Alright, so I'm using some Stampin' Seal on that Whisper White cardstock that we just did, and we're going to put that on our card base. This is really sticky stuff. It's good. It will definitely hold it for a long time. I'm just going to center that onto the Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to take my little tiny piece of Daffodil Delight here, and I'm going to use some of our Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up. Now these are the regular size Stampin' Dimensionals. Minis would be great for this. Minis, we have Stampin' Dimensionals that are minis, and you get a ton of them. So for like $4, you can't beat it. I love our Stampin' Dimensionals, but if you don't have minis, and I don't at the moment, I'm just going to cut mine in half, and that works really well too. So get some scissors that won't stick. Our paper snips are awesome for that. And then I'm just going to stick that down. Try and leave my mess over on the side here. And I'm just going to add that right underneath the word coffee. And that's it. Today's plan. Consume coffee and be awesome. What a fun card to be able to send someone. I always think these would be great cards to have like a Starbucks gift card or something, or a Dutch Brothers gift card. That's probably what I would put in there. And send as a gift to somebody. I have a lot of girlfriends, and it's nice to just get a card once in a while for no reason at all, right? Just because you're thinking of them. So, all right, so that's our first card today. Hello, Kim. Hello, Shirley. Nice to see you. If you are just jumping on, make sure you say hello, say hi, give us a comment so that we know you are there and we can get you entered into our drawing. So we love to give away stuff. Every week we give something away to anyone who's watching our lives. And thank you guys for watching today. Appreciate you joining me on a Thursday here. We're going to go ahead and make our next card. This is today is a chocolate kind of day. So, grab my paper out real quick. So this is from the Artistry Blooms Designer Series paper, is where I pulled this beautiful background paper from. I love this set, and you can see I've used a lot of this set. So there's some gorgeous paper in here. All kinds of beautiful prints. I love the colors that go with this set. This is probably one of my favorites. So I've gone through a few of them already. I think this is one of my last that I haven't fully gone through yet. So we're going to pull the paper out that we're going to use today. And we'll cut that down here. So we're going to start with a regular card base. And we're just going to cut our card base again. It's just our 8.5 by 11 sheet cut in half. And this is our Whisper White cardstock. And we've cut it to 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to score it in the middle. And then we're going to go ahead and just fold it right in half. If I had my bone folder, I would score that. I put that over there somewhere. All right. So there's our card base, and then we're going to go ahead and cut our paper down. So we've at our background paper. And I chose this background paper because I really liked the fact that the Calypso Coral kind of merged with this really beautiful pink and this really beautiful orange. So I want to make sure I've got some orange and some pink and some of this yellow kind of all together in whatever piece I'm using here. So I'm probably going to cut kind of over on this edge. So I need to cut that to 4 by 5 1/4. So I can cut it this way. So 5 1/4. And I am using our paper trimmer, which is my most favorite tool that I own. I don't know that I could function without my paper trimmer. It comes with your cutting blade and a scoring blade, and what's nice is it tucks away. So if you're not using it, you can actually kind of tuck your blade away and it's not going to get in the way of your paper. So it's great. I use it all the time. I'm always cutting paper, right? If we're making cards, we're cutting paper a lot. So it's nice to have a tool that you feel like works really well. The measurements on it are really good. It's always very exact, so I feel like I'm getting a good cut every single time. So I did 5 1/4. I'm going to do 4. And we'll just cut that there. It gives me some pretty color for the background. And I'm just going to set my trimmer aside. And now I've got another piece I can use for another card. I love that. All right, the other thing I did was I did go ahead and I pre-cut some of our die cuts. I will say that you don't have to use die cuts to do this. I did, just because I like the look of the stitched. So if that's something you like and you have a die cut machine, I would really recommend the 2 dies I used our rectangular stitched dies, and mine are kind of a mess in here, but you get a ton of them. I mean, look how many you get. Whoa! I need a better way of organizing those. But they are amazing. Tons and tons of ways to use those rectangles. I probably use the rectangles more than I use anything else. And then I also used our stitched shapes. Now this one's nice because you get multiple shapes. I'm missing 2 of my squares because I'm using them on another project, but you get 4 ovals, 4 circles, and 4 squares. And so I actually used the circles for this project as well. But again, you don't have to. I could have just cut these with my paper trimmer and it would have looked just as cute, or I could have used one of our circle punches for this. So you don't have to have a die cut machine, but I did go ahead and use mine today. So I did pre-cut in Calypso Coral. I cut one of our larger rectangles, and then I cut one of our kind of a stackable rectangle to go in there with the Whisper White. And then I did the same thing with the stitched circles. So kind of a larger stitched circle for the bottom, and then one of our smaller stitched circles for the inside in Whisper White. So we're going to use the Whisper White to go ahead and stamp on today. And I picked out 2 colors, and we're going to use the black as well, but we've got Early Espresso. I figured since we were using chocolate, that might be a good one. You can use probably any of our brown colors for this. I chose the Early Espresso because I, in particular, love dark chocolate. I also think our brand new cinnamon cider would look really good with this, as if you like that milk chocolate, it'd be a good milk chocolate look. And then we're going to use Calypso Coral, which is going to coordinate with our cardstock that we chose. So let's go ahead and open up the, actually I'm going to set those both aside and we're going to start with our Memento Black. And we're going to use the Today is a Kind of Day. So we're going to start with today. That's why I love this stamp set. You can use a ton of these different sayings and layer them differently. And every time you layer them, you're going to get a different saying that goes with it. So today is A, and these are tiny. Again, there's lots of little stamps in this stamp set. You're getting a ton of different stamps. So just be careful. I tend to lose the little ones. They get lost on my desk somewhere. I don't know if that ever happens to you, but it definitely happens to me. All of a sudden, It's not where I put it. All right, so we're gonna stamp Today is A up in the top left corner. We're gonna do that in the Memento black. And then we're gonna do Kind of Day, again in the Memento black. Alrighty, here we go. Just gonna ink that up with the Memento ink. It is a really firm ink pad, so you actually do want to kind of push down a lot harder on it, much harder than you would on your regular Stampin' ink pads. All right, we've got Kind of Day in there. Now we got to fill the center with the word chocolate. So I'm going to grab the word chocolate here. Gotta make sure I grab the right one. I almost grabbed cocktails. Today is a cocktails kind of day. Some days are like that. But this one is going to be for chocolate. So I'm going to pull out my chocolate here. And we're going to stamp chocolate using the Calypso Coral. Such a pretty color. I don't use this one nearly enough. I feel like I need to use this color more. Alright, so we're going to stamp that right in the center. Today is a chocolate kind of day. There we go. See, I love the way that looks, how you can layer it up and change the sayings. It's just super cute. All right, put that one away so I don't lose it here. And I'm going to set that one aside. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp on our circle. And on our circle, we're going to start with our chocolate outline. So you're going to get your little chocolate outline, which is super cute. And we're going to stamp that in the black. I kind of want it to just have a little bit of contrast from the brown that I'm putting on there. So I'm going to stamp that right in the center. And then I'm going to grab the fill for it. I love that this comes with fill. So you don't have to like try and figure out how to color it in. Like, it has a fill piece. So it's the filling for the inside of your chocolate. Now you could do a couple different things with this one. You could stamp off to make it kind of a lighter color. I think I'll do that because we haven't done that yet. So here's the fill stamp. And we're going to go ahead and just get that inked up. And it's going to be a really dark brown. So if I want to lighten that up a little, I'm actually going to stamp off on my pad here, on my paper. And then I'm going to stamp in the center of my chocolates. And that's going to just lighten up the color in the middle of those chocolates. And you'll be able to see the design a lot more. So there you go. See, kind of still looks like dark chocolate to me. So I'm good with that. Could be your milk chocolate. You can see those designs on the outside that are so pretty. If you want it darker, you don't need to stamp off. You just stamp right in the center there. Put this brown away. I noticed I just put my hand in the black. So we'll put that away. If you're not messy when you're done stamping, I guess you're just not doing it right? We all get a little messy when we do this. I'm gonna put away the chocolate fill, and now we're gonna get out that little star again. So I love that little star. I just think it adds something. It just adds a little something. Not a lot, just gives it a little something more. All right, so put that on my black here, and I'm gonna stamp that in the coral again. And I'm just gonna give it a couple little stamps up here. Now you could use embellishments. You could use maybe some little rhinestones, or if you've got some maybe little clear colored enamel dots, that would be really cute on here too. I'm actually using the stamp as the embellishment. I feel like when you use that little star, that kind of is your embellishment. And it kind of decorates it up a little. So, super cute. Now we're going to put it all together. So we're going to start with our base, and I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal here. And I'm just going around the outside and right down the center. Just want that to make sure. Oop. I never did use my bone folder, did I? Give it a crisp edge. All right, and I'm going to put the yellow kind of towards the bottom here. So we're just going to set that in the center. There we go. And then we're going to put on our die cuts. And again, you could use just your paper trimmer and make this just a regular rectangle instead of using the die cuts to cut it out. It's entirely up to you how you want to do that. And I'm just going to kind of put this on the bottom here so it has a little bit of the same edge. I want you to be able to still see the paper underneath. It's such a pretty paper. And then we're going to use the circle. And we're going to put the circle down as well. So I'm putting these down flat, and then I'm putting the stamped images using our Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm just kind of centering that right at the top. And then we're going to use our Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up. You know I just set those somewhere because I was just using them. That's all right. I've got more. That's what happens when you're live on camera. You lose everything. I'm telling you, my desk is super clean today. That's so not like me. Usually I get on my lives and like this little area here is all clean because that's what you see, but off to the right is like a hot mess and there's stacks of stuff over there because, you know, I might need it. Today it's actually really clean and I'm still losing stuff, so it must just be me. It's more coffee. I need more coffee, or maybe more chocolate. It's a chocolate kind of day. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just use our Stampin' Dimensionals, and we're just putting a couple on the back to pop this one up. And I love it. It just gives it some dimension. It's nice to pull a card out of an envelope and feel like there's many layers to it. It just, especially when you see that popped up there, it just feels like a lot of work, right? Somebody put a lot of time and effort into that. So I always try and pop mine up. Give it a little dimension. And then we're just going to put this right in the center. I love these little chocolates. And that little star, I feel like I can use that on all kinds of different cards that I make. All right, so that is our cards for today. Hopefully you like those. I love this stamp set. I cannot say enough really awesome things about this stamp set. The more you use it and the more you play with it, I feel like the more you get inspired by it. There is a die cut set that goes with it as well. So I'll show you some of the other cards I've made using this particular stamp set because it's so fun. There's so much you can do with it. So those are our cards for today, but let me show you some that I've made. So I love the cocktails as well. So I don't know. I know this is a $1 million stamp set, and forgive me, I don't know exactly whose $1 million stamp set this is. But they chose "because adulting is hard" as one of their sayings on here. That is hilarious. That is so right up my alley, right? So cocktails, because adulting is hard. That is definitely a card I can think of a few friends who might love to receive. We've got cookies. So I love the cookies on here too. So all I did with this card, it's just again, paper cut right in half, 8.5 by 11. But I took and I folded the front to make it so you have a little place to stick a gift card. So we have a company here called Crumble Cookies. I don't know if you guys have anything like that where you are, but Crumble Cookies is, oh my goodness, they're amazing. They're these giant cookies. They come warm and they're frosted and they come in all these different flavors. And I thought, I'm gonna make a gift card holder that I can stick a Crumble Cookies gift card in. So that was the whole reason for making this card, was to just have a place for that particular gift card. But I thought it turned out super cute. So great birthday idea, again, because adulting is hard, right? We all need cookies. Here's another one with the cookies. Love You More Than Cookies. These are all the dies from the die cut set. And then I borrowed these little hearts from the whale set, which I can't think of the name right now, but cute little whale set. So Love You More Than Cookies. These are all die cuts. And then this is stamped, and then you can actually die cut out the cookie as well. So that's a really neat, it's neat to have the die cuts to pair with it. If you have a die cut machine, that's a lot of fun. Here's another one with the cocktails again. Just like cocktails, you make everything better, right? And just think you can interchange that with chocolate or coffee or cookies. Like, they give you a ton of variety here. I love that. So love these sayings. And then lastly, I made a chocolate box. So this is one of our mini paper pumpkin boxes. They're awesome because they're food safe. So on the inside, you'll notice it's nice and shiny. It has that food safe lining. So you can make homemade chocolates. Now, I'm probably not going to make homemade chocolates. That's just not how I roll. But I would definitely buy some chocolate and put it inside and give these as a gift. So it says a day without chocolate is like, just kidding. I have no idea. But it would make a really cute gift for someone too. So again, using that stamp set. So thanks guys for letting me come on and show you this awesome Nothing's Better Than stamp set. Like I said, I think it is absolutely one of my favorites. If you want to get a hold of one, talk to your demonstrator. They are a ton of fun. I will use this for many, many, many years to come. I can just see continuing to play with this one over and over and discovering new things. So thank you, ladies. Hopefully you have an amazing weekend. I know tomorrow is Friday. I'm hoping your Friday goes really well. I'm looking forward to Friday very much. Lots of fun things on my agenda tomorrow. So hopefully yours is wonderful as well, and that you have a great weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Blessings to all of you, and we will see you back on Create and Connect hopefully soon. Bye. Have a great night.